Okay, we made it to Friday night. It was a rough week in the stock market this week. 4 days of big down moves, a lot of volatility. Friday today we had this crazy up move. The Dow was up 1,200 points. The S&P, after all of that, ended down 0.1% this week. The NASDAQ was still down 1.8% this week, even after a 2% move today. A lot of that was, led by the CapEx concerns. Google and Amazon had their earnings, and they both projected huge CapEx spending expectations. 175 billion, I believe, for Google, 200 billion for Amazon, and these companies are just cash cows. They make tons of cash, but when your Amazon going to spend 200 billion on CapEx, it just creates concerns about, will all that spending result in more revenue, higher returns, more cash flow. So it's crazy that Amazon probably was even down, because of they do just produce so much cash, but they're going to be spending all their cash. So something to watch. That was why Amazon was down. That was why Google was down. You saw a lot of the hardware names like NVIDIA bounced 8% today because of this CapEx spend. And so that means if you got Google, you got Amazon spending all this money, most of that money is going to flow to hardware names like NVIDIA, like an Intel, could even be something like a Qualcomm. This isn't meaning Google and Amazon are specifically spending money with those companies, but those are just examples of what was up today despite those big down moves. Like Meta was down, Amazon was down, Google was down, but Nvidia was up 8%, and that's why. So that's what I'm trying to explain. So something to watch. Crypto had a crazy volatile week. It hit 60,000 and then bounced up to 69,000. The futures were right over 70,000 today. So just a crazy week. We love dividend portfolios here at Fish Creek Capital because they have been actually outperforming so far this year, and love the philosophy around a growing dividend. So, often these portfolios are less volatile. The dividends are growing, so your cash flow is increasing. And they might not be as up as much like on when the technology was running away like last year, but man, it's a lot more comforting to know, okay, my cash flow is increasing, I'll have that for retirement, and you're not just getting these crazy moves like we're seeing. So, and buying overpriced stocks, that's important no matter what kind of company you're buying. So yeah, a lot happened. This is Jeff Wright with Fish Creek Capital. Please like and subscribe and let me know how I can help.